guys. I'm just waiting for a few people to jump in. We have some breaking news. I haven't been posting a lot here on YouTube, more or less X. So I'm gonna wait till a few people jump in. If you're in, give it a thumbs up. Let me know you're here. Say hi. I got one thumbs up so far. So we have some breaking news. Hey, we are heading out to Green Isle right now. We have
in a quarter mile,
the Minnesota suspect on the shooting yesterday in Champlain Brooklyn Park. Vince, his vehicle was spotted. So near Green Isle.
Take exit 11C.
I know I haven't been putting out a lot of updates. If you're following me on X, that's the best for updates on situations like this. I have talked to a lot of law enforcement. I was up in Brooklyn Park, didn't make it to Champlain. Side note, one of the videos I did put out on X in Brooklyn Park was actually a burglary in progress, and they ended up catching the guy because he was inside the perimeter doing a burglary. So that's what that one video, if you've seen my video on X that I put out. But there is a shelter in place in Faxton Township, Sibley County. EMS crews have been put on standby since 9 a.m. And I'm going to tell you right now, the information we're getting is extremely slow. A lot of unconfirmed, unofficial things have been coming out. So I'm sorry that I haven't been putting out. I'm getting all the information. If you guys are getting it, it's a overwhelming amount of things that are coming out that is super rapidly developing. So I wanted, it's like a 47-minute drive from the metro area. Turn this off.
Man, we're good.
So I wanted to let you guys know that yes, I am out here. I am covering it. I've talked to a lot of different officers. I have pretty good rapport with Brooklyn Park. So I've talked to them. I talked to some Anoka County deputies. It was a slow progress. Even like a lot of officers weren't hearing information that was coming out. So that was very interesting. Everything was encrypted. We couldn't hear anything unless it was fire, EMS. Which honestly, I'm kind of okay with some encryption on those types of events. Some of the information coming out of Alpha News, most of that has turned out to be legitimate. I was trying to confirm that, but Liz, obviously, with her husband being in former Minneapolis police, she's got a lot of ins with PDs, different officers. So information does get filtered. Multiple law enforcement officers have descended into this area. So we're gonna head down here. Like I said, a suspect was seen on Highway 25 and 301 Avenue. So this is kind of the area where we're gonna go. Residents are asked to stay inside, lock your doors, don't approach a suspect if seen. It does appear he has shedded a bunch of his hat, his clothes, possibly a vehicle that he had that he got away in. So while everyone was up in Brooklyn Park searching, it turns out he jumped to Minneapolis. From Minneapolis, he took off, supposedly, maybe we're thinking down here. And we're not sure. I mean, he's way far ahead of the game, we'll just say. So The information's been slow. We haven't gotten any updates since yesterday. Would I give him a lift in exchange for an interview? Probably not. Probably not. That would be aiding and abetting a federal fugitive or a federal wanted person. He is wanted right now, so. But yeah, there's a lot of information coming out if he's Republican or Democrat or all that, and honestly, you believe what you want to on that. Keith Ellison did make it to the No Kings rally. Again, there's opinions in there. I'm trying to drive as much as I can by facts on this incident until we can actually learn and things are released. But as you can see, we are definitely heading way outside the metro area. Yeah, so we're going out to a pretty rural area of Minnesota. This is going to be Sibley County. It's just outside of Carver County. A lot of state agencies, a lot of state patrol officers were heading down this way. Again, EMS crews, I have a source that informed me that EMS crews were put on standby as early as about 9 a.m. down in this area. So, yeah, it's... You know what? You said it right. It doesn't matter his views. He's a killer, and that's all I'm concerned at this point, too, is getting the information out there. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, right? Let's get information out there and get them captured. Yep, I don't touch my cell phone while I'm driving, so that's not a worry. Everything's mounted and law compliant. I mean, I can't control if they're going to give me a ticket or not. I mean, they can give you a ticket, they can arrest you, and do whatever they want to you, but yeah, we're on 212, just heading out. We're coming up into Chaska now. But yeah, I just wanted to give you an update. If you guys are in that area, it's gonna, again, Sibley County, Highway 25 and 301, shelter-in-place order, keep your doors and windows locked, stay inside, alert law enforcement to suspicious activity. So we will be heading down here. I will keep you guys updated. If you guys have X, that is where I post a lot of this information. Because it evolves pretty rapidly, and it's hard for me to stay live. It's a lot of dead time, so it's hard for me to do. It's hard for me to just have a live stream constantly playing with nothing going on, right? So, and I don't want to. I don't want to keep regurgitating like mainstream does. It's just regurgitating the same thing over and over again. That's like nothing, and speculations and wondering and calling some dude sitting in front of a laptop. I've got one in my truck. I can sit here. I can put a camera on it. You guys can see what I'm looking up as I look it up, right? Like, you guys can do it too. You can search the information, and that's what I'm afraid a lot of things are happening, right? Like, just we're Googling so much. Like, I found his security company. One thing I do want to touch on is his vehicle. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you'll know that I used to work with Rowdy Podcast. Rowdy Podcast was a podcaster and also a First Amendment auditor slash, I would say, activist-ish. Him and I teamed up on a, oh, there goes a Ridgeview rig right now. Him and I teamed up on the thing with a statewide security. Back in the day, we also had Tony with Minnesota Guardian. And so we went out there to do an investigation on that because Rowdy seen this car, said statewide on it, looked like a police car, had red, amber, white flashing lights. So I looked at his police car that he had, going back to the shooter Vince's car. His car did have a red and blue visor lights mounted inside the visor. He also had a mixture of red and blue on the dash. He also had an amber and white light bar mounted to the top of his vehicle. So, I'm going to do a deep kind of breakdown of our state. Our state has very specific laws. If you ever see a squad car, it will never have amber and white in the front of it. It will be red, blue, white. Here's the fun thing. Our state says that emergency vehicles are to have red lights. Okay? Blue is a non-emergency color. The statute says may have blue lights on the passenger side of the vehicle. Those are for emergency vehicles. Maintenance crews, snow plows can have blue. Vehicle colors. After 2002, law enforcement vehicles are very specific by statute. If you look up the state law, it specifies. Sorry, I was trying to get some information here. It specifies the coloring of the vehicles and the graphics. So, I don't remember it, so I'm not going to quote it, but it sets the standard that the colors of the vehicles and what they have to be colored, or what they can be colored, it states that security or protective agencies in Minnesota cannot be the same colors. So, black, white, I know are two that are kind of a universal colors for law enforcement in Minnesota. Security vehicles cannot be black and white if they're made after 2002. So, you can drive a retired police car, but if you're working as a protective agent or security company, you cannot have the same colors. So let that sink in. He drove a black vehicle that's in a violation of Minnesota state statute if that vehicle was manufactured after 2002. These laws are set in place to protect people. Now, they can have silver, they can have gray. I've seen some securities companies, for perfect example of security companies, Capital Security. So our state capital has security. They are a combination of silver and gray. There we go on LTAC one. I don't think I have Sibley or Carver County. I might have Carver County, so I might have the LTACs for Carver County towers. But in case, these laws are set in place for the purpose of protecting. So the other thing, police cars should not have blue on the driver's side of the vehicle. Technically, by statute, that's illegal. So if you get an officer approaching you, I know these seem minor and trivial, but these are very important things to know. These are very much for protection, easy identified. Anyway, going back to the Capital Security, I believe they're silver and cream color. So, they're like the black and white, but silver and cream color. I'll try and get a picture of it. Yeah, green lights in Minnesota are a very nuanced. They're kind of vague. I haven't found a lot. And then it goes on to say that any vehicle can be equipped with white to amber in the front, amber to red in the rear, as widely spread apart as possible, and flash simultaneous. Then it gives exemptions, right? So, like, if you have a purpose for having flashing lights, for example, my vehicles have flashing lights on them. I have colors that are by statute legal. So, you know, one thing they talked about is Florida's pretty interesting. I know Florida statute because when I was down there, I sold some of those lights and equipment. They could have changed, but when I was there, security companies could have no more than 50% green and no more than 50% amber. They could have white, but you know, it's interesting, right? In Minnesota, our tow trucks are red and amber. They are not allowed to drive with red lights on while they're towing. They only can drive with flashing red lights responding. It's weird. Every state has such crazy statutes. When I was in Georgia as a volunteer firefighter, I had red lights and sirens. When we were going to calls, we could run code 3. It was either all or nothing. So we had red, white. I had red and amber in the rear, and we could not have blue. Blue was law enforcement, strictly law enforcement only. Some states, tow trucks drive with their flashing amber lights on, just like a car on the flatbed for I don't know what reason. It blows my mind. It's kind of a southern thing. I've seen it in Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Alabama. They just drive with their lights on. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've gone live. I've been super busy with other things, but I figured now's a good time to go live, kind of update on things, hear from you guys. It's going to be hard for me to go back and read the messages, but if you guys could take and put messages in my other videos, if there's things you're interested in, I can start digging in. This is going to take up a lot of time. Appreciate you for watching. Yeah, we're heading down to the area of Green Isle. We're going to Sibley County. It's Highway 52 and 301st Avenue in Faxton Township, I believe that's. So we're gonna pull over here in Cologne in a second here. Haven't been out here forever. This is there we go. See, we're legal. But yeah, go ahead and put comments in after this video renders. If you guys have questions about things, I'll try and answer them. Again, follow me on X and follow me on TikTok as well. I know that a lot of people don't like the two. They got their own issues. If there's one thing you do, you can follow me on, yep, so there's the alert. So if you guys heard that, I just got into the alert area where they are on lockdown. So we're in the lockdown area now. I don't know if this phone will switch over. But yeah, we're in a very rural Minnesota. This is, you know, as Governor Walz likes to call it, Rocking Cow area. Haven't seen many cows. Seen some rocks. But yeah, just put in comments, questions. I will try to get to them as best as possible. If you have questions about state statutes, we'll work on that too. Ralphie, I got to get in touch with you. We got to go out and do some live-on patrols before your city decides to encrypt all your communication. So if you get a chance. No, so it's weird. The question for searching the vehicle. I don't think there's an exemption for that. So the shelter in place is kind of weird. So even when I was in Brooklyn Park, if you see, I actually had some video I put out on X where they were actually searching vehicles. That was just in the golf course neighborhood area. So I think if you're within that area, I think it's a voluntary check. I mean, and even so, it would be a search specific. Again, these are just my thoughts. These are not legal advice or I'm not telling you what to do, or I'm not telling you what the law is, but from my knowledge, my opinion of it would be, if it's a search, it can only be a search that's narrowly tailored to searching the body of the wanted person, right? So my thought would be that, like, say you had 100 pounds of cocaine, what was the probable cause for that search for that specific thing, right? Again, that would be an attorney thing. I don't typically drive around with any illegal substances in my truck, so, I'm not really worried. I don't believe in surrendering your Fourth Amendment rights are okay. Although I do understand that if they're searching for a suspect that could be hiding, it's pretty easy to search through an empty bed of a pickup truck and go, yeah, drop the tailgate, there's nothing in there. Some ratchet straps, right? Or there's bins with tools. You're not going to fit a full alive person inside, a tool bin. The bed of my truck is pretty full of junk all the time. I mean, probably someone under there, but I think I would know about that. You guys have any other questions you want me to answer before we get too far down the road here? Because I don't know how service is going to be. So we're about 5 miles out of Sibley County Road 25. But yeah, we're in a lockdown area. Again, this is a very rural area out of Minnesota here, as you guys can see. Why am I going to what was the question? Sorry. Why are you going to this area? Is there a reason? Yeah, so we're under a lockdown. This is a possible area where his vehicle was spotted. The suspect, the shooter. That's why we're coming down here. This isn't a lockdown. We're in a lockdown area right now, so they're asking residents to stay inside. That's the purpose of coming down here. Is the news. Yeah, I drove all the way down to the train derailment. That was Freeborn County. And I did end up buying a kayak and trying to get out there. I will hand it to Freeborn Freeborn County Sheriff's Department and what was the PD? What's the PD down there? It's escaping my mind right now. But great agencies down there for with me anyway. We could do some fishing videos, Ralphie. We could do some fishing videos. I've got 3 kayaks now. I think the last time I actually used one of them was that video down in Freeborn County, where that one I bought that I should have just returned. A lot of people have talked about crossbow fishing or spear fishing. Yeah, well, after everything goes encrypted, it's going to be kind of hard to do a lot of different filming. It's going to be all stuff like this. But yeah, I mean, definitely to get back to it, yeah, we're going down here because the suspect's vehicle was found down here. We're about 2.5 miles from making a left turn here. So EMS crews, again, were put on standby approximately 9 a.m. this morning. This emergency alert has been out now since 11:40. So approximately an hour, they put out this lockdown. It's finally stopped raining, by the way. So yeah, we'll see what we can see. I don't know how cell phone reception is going to be out here. That's the thing, is they really didn't have him trapped. What happened, and I know a lot of the I know one of the sergeants, or a couple of the sergeants with Brooklyn Park PD, and I haven't had a chance to find out who it is, but if it's the sergeant I think it is, really super great guy. I've dealt with him multiple times, and I could see him having that intuition to go out to search, right? Like, but they got into a gunfight. He fled out the back door. Well, there was no one there. Like, they didn't have that area locked down, right? Like, they didn't have a perimeter set up when he fled. So if he fled and he kept going and he had a plan, a backup plan, which, I mean, the way this seems like it's planned out, you would think he would have a backup plan, right? This just seems way too planned out to not have a backup plan, right? And so, you know, he could have called an Uber. You know, it's where that area is to North Minneapolis isn't that far. You could have walked and taken a bus. I mean, there's a lot of different things that could have happened if you're familiar with that area. That it's not hard to get from Brooklyn Park to Minneapolis. So, you know, it wasn't a lockdown, and by the time they really got that secured, I mean, dude was outside the perimeter, obviously, right? So, you know, it's not unheard of to get far. I mean, sad, but the guy's still on the run. I don't know if he's still in Minnesota even. So the officers have been to his house their house where he rented in Minneapolis. The officers have actually been to his house out here. And they have been, I mean, trust me, they have been to all his locations where he could have been. Onamia, I believe it was Onamia, his wife, was stopped and detained and questioned with passports and cash. Not a whole lot more information coming out of that. Again, law enforcement has been tight-lipped on all of this. They're not releasing, we haven't heard any press releases or any information coming out of any of these incidents. All of it's like grassroots stuff. Mainstream is trying really hard to come up with a narrative and a political reason for these things. So just be careful on where you get your information. I've been trying to vet it as fast as possible as I keep trying to get it. So I would just take what you hear with a grain of salt. Make sure you can vet it or get it from a trusted source that you know is vetting the information. You know, it's kind of like what I said is, you know, I've been trying very hard to vet the information that's coming out as fast as it's coming out, but it's extremely hard, right? Like, it's extremely hard when no one's talking. There's so much things I've been seeing coming out from people that don't even live in Minnesota, kind of areas that I'm unfamiliar with. I don't disagree with you covering things, right? But what I've seen is people don't understand the way it works in some areas, right? Like, you know your local community better than anybody else, right? So I will bring it back to the George Floyd incident. Back when it was Hennepin County, EMC, Hennepin County Medical Center, those paramedics wore brown uniforms. They had duty belts. They, you know, they looked like deputies, right? There we go with more public safety warnings. So one of the things that came out were you know, these guys aren't real paramedics. You know, look at them. They're wearing sheriff's department police uniforms and everything else. I'm sorry, you're right. But if you ever remember the old Hennepin County Medical Center uniforms, that's what they look like. They wore those uniforms. So it wasn't a conspiracy. It wasn't anything other than that was their uniform. That's it. That's another thing. The guy has been rumored to be part of other groups, supremacy groups. We don't know. We don't know what information is vetted. We don't know what information is true. You know, everyone's trying to point which political party he's affiliated with. I mean, we're concerned about what political, I'm sorry, this is going to be my opinion. We're concerned about all these things. Sure, whatever. I'm more concerned about finding this guy that assassinated people and getting the information out there to as many people as possible to find this person, to get him off the streets. I don't really personally care what political party he's affiliated with. I care about getting a dangerous person off the street. We are coming up. Is this Green Isle? This could be Green Isle. Let me see here. We are in Green Isle. That's what the little sign says at the train station. This truck followed me for a while. I just didn't want to. It seemed like he was in a hurry. All right, let me. Spot here to turn around. Sorry if it froze. My alert came in and I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, and again, I'm just gonna say it's okay. Like, you can have your own thoughts and your own opinions, your own beliefs, right? And everyone can have their own things. I'm not gonna sit there, but try to understand where we're at with everything right now too, right? Like, we got a dangerous person out on the loose right now. But yeah, anyway, I was talking. I was trying to get some information out of. There's a state trooper. So they might have this situation resolved now, but Fairfax Township. Is anyone familiar with this area at all? I'm definitely not familiar with this area. But yeah, this area is still in a lockdown as of now. 109th and Highway 25. So this is 109th Street. That was to the left there. It's pretty flat. I could see a good mile down that road, and there was nothing there. Junction 25. Is this? This is 25. I feel like we should just go tour small towns. Well, this is definitely it. So they got this whole area taped off. They got SWAT. I mean, I can stay live with you guys for a little bit if you want, but otherwise there's not a whole lot to... Again, these are just like a hurry up and wait type of situation. So, follow me on X. I'll post more on there. But I wanted to get you guys as much information as possible. Again, be careful of your sources, because there's a lot of lies coming out. A lot of political divides coming out. But I'll be posting more pictures and information on X. Appreciate all you guys for being here. Thanks for jumping on, joining the live stream. I know it's kind of boring, but again, it was just the drive outside the metro area to give you guys an idea of where we're going, where we're at. So this has been going on since yesterday down here. I can try to answer some questions before I jump out. If he did have a phone on him, they could track it. You're right. Recap. This is they believe they found his vehicle, or a vehicle that he was driving down in this area. We're down just outside of Green Isle. This area is on a lockdown. They're asking everyone to go in, lock their doors, everything. So yeah, roads closed for miles, so we won't be able to get close at all. SWAT teams are out, so not a whole lot. They're still searching for the guy. Boycott, that's about it. Not a whole lot. You guys can email me, reach me by putting messages in here. Follow me on X. That's where I'm going to be posting most of this stuff. TikTok, I put out information on TikTok as well. Not a whole lot from this. Again, videos on this are kind of hard, but I'll be updating a lot on X. I believe the wife was stopped and detained in Onamia yesterday, but with cash and passports. I mean, don't know if it was past. That's it. Again, the information we're getting is so limited. Oh, there's a SWAT vehicle right there just pulling in. Oh, there's another SWAT vehicle just pulling in. So we got multiple SWAT vehicles rolling in now. Ramsey County Sheriff's Department is pulling in. So yeah, let me get going. I will let you guys know what's going on. Follow me on X. I appreciate everyone for being here. Jason with Minnesota News Now out.